Hopefully, yeah. Okay, so today we will be playing Southwest Florida game on Roblox. I'll turn off my volume. Today we will be talking about cheap drift builds and which ones are the best. Normally, cheaper ones are worse, but in today's video that is not the case, because this Miata is actually better than one of my other cheap drift builds, and my other cheap drift build is more expensive than this Miata. So yeah, I would say if you're looking for a cheap drift build in Southwest Florida, go for a Miata. It's probably your best bet, because, and I'll show you my tune too. I got it from this guy called Joe. Yeah, it's pretty much, this is my tune. I'll just move you guys if I can. Oh no, I can't, never mind. Yeah, but pretty much what you want to do, if you haven't unlocked this stuff yet, just get the most powerful stuff you possibly can. So just, you don't really need the brake bias. Just pretty much make your weight as low as possible so it goes faster, because if you take physics lessons, I don't really know, if you take physics lessons then it's probably going to go faster. Yeah, but you also need to equip the drift tyres. This is my tune for the suspension. It's a bit dodgy, but I just don't know why, but I just like slam Miatas. Still looks good. It could still go up curbs if you really needed it to. So let's go to steering. So I didn't get this one from the JoJo guy, but I did get my steering tune from him. So this is my thing. This is it, pretty much. As you can see, 70, 250, 300, 90, 590, 205, 200, 550. And all of that just gets you a good drift car. And this one's really good, actually. Because, hang on, let me just do a couple drifts with it, and you'll see how good it is. Alright, let's get to it. This thing has crazy angle. Once I get out of here, hang on. Oh god. It's a tight turn. Yeah, but anyway. Also, the cool thing about the Miata is obviously you can turn on and off the lights. Lights on. He's blinking. Yeah, I like to keep them on. So, yeah. It gets decent angle. Probably the ideal starter drift car. It's not very powerful, coming in at 269 horsepower. But it's good for a starter, because it's quite easy to tune. This build cost me around 25,000. So 7,000 for the car, and for all the upgrades, actually probably 15,000, because it seems respectful. I know you're probably saying, "Oh, Vincent," or "Oh, Short End Gamer, you should have spent more money on the looks." Well, me personally, it doesn't really come down to looks. I kind of like sleeper cars. because then if you're like racing, like drift racing, then and you race, and then the guy's like, oh, you only have like a stock Miata, I'm gonna beat you. But then he finds out it's just riced out to the max. Then it's gonna be really funny seeing their reaction. That's why I like sleeper cars. I have one car that's not a sleeper car, but it cost me 75 grand, which was this GTR. And it gets more angle, like a lot more angle. That's a police guy. Yeah, but you can do stuff like that. Like with the Mazda you probably could, but you just needed a bit more power. I think I would say if you're actually like if you're drifting for fun, then well, like it's only really drifting for fun actually. But get good at the game, drifting wise, with the cheapest build you can, because you're probably not going to have much money, and then get more money and buy something like this and upgrade it and tune it. My second cheap drift build is this Mustang GT FLX, which it's not bad, but it's not good. It's just that slight bit underpowered, really. Like, I would prefer the Mazda because it's cheaper, and this one is underpowered. But because this one has more horsepower than the Mazda, that's why it costs more money. But this one has more horsepower, and it probably goes the same speed like the Mazda, but the Mazda's just lighter, so it maneuvers around corners better. Because like you can still get good angle of this thing, and yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how expensive your build is. It's only really about how you like looks wise. Like I could, if I was an experienced player at the game, I could get a Mazda 3 or a Mazda 3, and I could write it out to be a drift car if I really, really wanted to. Speaking of Mazda 3s, that's what I actually did because it was my starter car and I didn't have enough money to actually buy a dedicated drift car. But in all seriousness, if I'm really going to recommend you a drift build, it's probably going to be a Miata drift build, because this one comes in at about 30 grand, and I don't actually know, like, it's twice as much as the Mazda. I spent the same amount of money on upgrades as I did the Mazda with this, and I think it just comes down to how expensive your car is, really, because if you're going to get a drift car, you're pretty much just looking down at the upgrades, because the actual cost of the car doesn't matter. Like, this car cost me 18 grand, so I was gonna I was like, oh, cheap drift car, nice. Let me just show you what my tuner's on here too. I don't actually know, but this is again, the same as the Miata. It's just the drift tune. Yeah, so I kind of just keep the camber, offset and stuff stock, but the wheel size I did change it a bit because it was a bit too big for my liking. Also the suspension I put down a bit and absolutely slammed it. But what are your thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts on it? I think it looks pretty good. While I'm here, I might as well customize the colour because I'm not really a fan of it. So we got black, which is just all black. I'm not really a fan of that. Grey, white, red. Custom paint. Do you need to pay Robux? So yeah, you do. Yeah. So what I would say is, if you're gonna build a drift build, please spend more money on the actual performance and not looks. Even though I just spent 500 quid on a new paint job on this car, still, please just, if you only have around, 17 grand, and you want to get a drift build, go with the Miata, because then you can also customise it if you wanted to. But if you're looking for something a bit cooler that's going to get more recognition, go with this. Like, I know the Miata's a classic, but the thing I don't like about the Miata is that it kind of, oh god, how should I say it? It's quite quiet. If I was to turn on the sound right now, I would show you. But, like, if you want something that's just, I don't know, it just comes down to looks at the end of the day. They're literally, this and the Mazda are the same exact thing, but just in different bodies. So if you're wanting a cheap drift build, go on looks. I can't really judge your liking for things. So, but just get, if you're gonna get a car and it's not meant for drifting, like every stock car is in Southwest Florida is not meant for drifting. So yeah, goodbye. Have a nice day. Peace.